There was one major exception to the intellectual progress among the Greeks away from the mythic and toward the naturalistic, and this was Pythagoras. The dichotomy of religion and reason seems to have not so much pressed Pythagoras antithetically away from one in favor of the other, but rather provided for him an impetus toward synthesis. Indeed, his reputation among the ancients was that of a man whose genius was as much religious as scientific. Yet little can be said about Pythagoras with any definiteness. A rule of strict secrecy was maintained by his school, and an aura of legend surrounded it from its beginnings. Originally from the Ionian island of Samos, Pythagoras probably traveled and studied in Egypt and Mesopotamia before migrating westward to the Greek colony of Croton in southern Italy. There he established a philosophical school and religious brotherhood centered on the cult of Apollo and the Muses, and dedicated to the pursuit of moral purification, spiritual salvation, and the intellectual penetration of nature, all of which were understood as intimately interconnected. Where the Ionian physicists were interested in the material substance of phenomena, the Pythagoreans focused on the forms, particularly mathematical, that governed and ordered those phenomena. And while the main current of Greek thought was breaking away from the mythological and religious ground of archaic Greek culture, Pythagoras and his followers conducted philosophy and science in a framework permeated by the beliefs of the mystery religions, especially Orphism. To comprehend scientifically the order of the natural universe was the Pythagorean via regia to spiritual illumination. The forms of mathematics, the harmonies of music, the motions of the planets, and the gods of the mysteries were all essentially related for Pythagoreans. And the meaning of that relation was revealed in an education that culminated in the human soul's assimilation to the world's soul, and thence to the divine creative mind of the universe. Because of the Pythagorean commitment to cultic secrecy, the specifics of that meaning and of the process by which that meaning was disclosed remain largely unknown. What is certain is that the Pythagorean school charted its independent philosophical course according to a belief system that decisively maintained the ancient structures of myth and the mystery religions, while advancing scientific discoveries of immense consequence for later Western thought. For Pythagoreans, as later for Platonists, the mathematical patterns discoverable in the natural world secreted, as it were, a deeper meaning that led the philosopher beyond the material level of reality. To uncover the regulative mathematical forms in nature was to reveal the divine intelligence itself, governing its creation with transcendent perfection and order. The Pythagorean discovery that the harmonics of music were mathematical, that harmonious tones were produced by strings whose measurements were determined by simple numerical ratios, was regarded as a religious revelation. Those mathematical harmonies maintain a timeless existence as spiritual exemplars, from which all audible musical tones derived. The Pythagoreans believed that the universe in its entirety, especially the heavens, was ordered according to esoteric principles of harmony, mathematical configurations that expressed a celestial music. To understand mathematics was to have found the key to the divine creative wisdom. Pythagoreans also taught that these forms are brought to light first in the human mind, and then in the cosmos. The mathematical laws of numbers and figures are recognized in the external world only after they have been established by the human nature. Only then does the meaning of the cosmos dawn within the soul. Through intellectual and moral discipline, the human mind can arrive at the existence and properties of the mathematical forms, and then begin to unravel the mysteries of nature and the human soul. The word cosmos, which signified a peculiarly Greek combination of order, structural perfection, and beauty, was traditionally supposed to have been first applied to the world by Pythagoras, after whose time it was frequently understood in that Pythagorean sense. As restated by Plato, to discover cosmos in the world was to reveal cosmos in one's own soul. In the thought life of man, the world spirit revealed itself. Here the Socratic dictum, know thyself, was seen not as a creed of an introspective subjectivist, but as a directive to universal understanding.